Hello guys, and welcome back. So in the last video we created the UI for our home screen. Now before we go further, we need to connect our application to Firebase. So before we head to Firebase, we need to do one very important thing. We need to change our package name. We need to change our bundle ID. Okay, so if we go to Android here in the app, then build.gradle, can see that we have application ID as com.example.flutterchat.pro. okay, so let's change this. So even on the iOS, if you come on your iOS folder here, if you are on Mac, you can right click and open this. You're going to have an option to open in Xcode, and then you're going to see your bundle ID. So to change everything at once, let's just use the package. So let's head over to our pub.dev. So let's minimize that. Then here, let's go back up. Let's minimize that. Let's search for another package called rename. Okay. So let's search for that. Then let's get this one here. Then if we come back now to the README here. So for installation, this one we need to run the CLI to execute the following command. Okay, so flutter pub global activate rename. So let's copy that, and then let's go back to our application. Then let's open up the terminal. So here, let's paste that, and then let's run it. So we can see that the package is installed and activated. And then let's go back to the browser, and then now we can see the commands that we can use here on the usage. So if we come down here, we can get the app name running this command, rename.get app name. Then we can target even iOS or Android. That's how we can get the app name. And then we can get for multiple targets like this, rename app name, and then we can have iOS and then Android and macOS and whenever Windows or Linux. And then also we can set the app name like this, and then we can get the set and get the bundle ID like this. So what we want to set is the bundle ID. Okay, so we are going to use this command here. So rename set bundle ID, and then the target that we want, Android and iOS, and then we can set the value. So what we are going to do is to copy this, then come back to our application and then paste that, and then let's edit this. Okay, so we are said rename set bundle ID. So we don't want to put targets here because we want to change for all the targets. Okay, so if we don't put it, and then which means we are changing for everything. Okay, so let's bring the cursor here, and then we can delete this. Okay, now we only have the value, and then for the value, you know that our application is named as this. So let's copy that, and then here let's bring our cursor here. Then let's remove that. Then we can Control V to paste, or Command V, and then let's change our ID now. So here, instead of that, let's remove that example, and then let's put our name. So for my case, I'm going to put my full name like that. And then here I'm going to remove all these underscores, because in iOS they don't want any special characters, so you might have problem in your iOS app. So just do exactly as I'm doing. You can do it like .com, and then put your name here for the unique identification, and then you can put your app name here, removing all the underscores. Okay, so now it's just a name without the underscore, no caps, no capital letters. And then after we do that, I can now go ahead and click enter. You can see now it says that it's successfully changed. Okay, so it's telling me successfully changed for iOS. It has come to from this to this, and then rename also successfully changed for Android from this to this. If you can see, even here it has been updated. Okay, great. So now we have changed our bundle ID for both iOS and Android. We can close that, and then we can also close this, and then let's bring up that. From here now, let's just let's close that. And then from here now we can go ahead to Firebase and install the application. So let's get started. So let's minimize the app. So you can head over to firebase.google.com, this here, and then you'll come back to this console. So here, if you don't have an account with Firebase, you can go ahead and create one. You can see that I'm logged in with my Google account here. So you can create a Firebase account, and then once you create, and then you go to your Firebase console. So let's go back, let's go to our Firebase console. So here's my console and all other projects that I currently have. So let's create a new project. So here I'm going to give it a name. So here let's give it a Flutter. We named it as Flutter Chat Pro. Yeah, this is going to be the name that I'm going to give it. So let's click on Flutter Chat Pro. Let's click on continue, and then here we can enable analytics. It's fine. Let's click on continue, and then you need to select an account here. So I'll select my default Firebase account, then create project. Alright, the project is ready. So now let's click on continue. So here's the home of our project. Now we need to connect our Flutter application to this project in Firebase. Okay, so come ahead and you can connect iOS only, Android only, or web only, or you can connect to Unity, but we want to connect to Flutter, which means we'll connect all three apps at the same time: iOS, Android, and web. Okay, this is the easiest way we can do it. So let's click on Flutter, and then from here now we can read the instruction of how to connect the project. So the easiest way to get you started is to use the Flutter Fire CLI. So before you continue, make sure to install the Firebase CLI and log in. So run Firebase login. So let's install this Firebase CLI. So I'm gonna right click here and open in a new tab. Let's follow that tab. So here are the instructions to install the Firebase CLI. So here I'm on Windows, so I'm going to follow this instruction for Windows. If you come down here, there's an instruction for Mac and Linux. So here on Windows, there are two ways to install it. There's through a standalone or the npm. So first of all, you need to have Node.js installed. Okay, so you need to click this and open the new tab. I just want to show you because this is already installed in my PC. If I open up here, so you need to download either the recommended one or the latest one, but I would also recommend that you just get the recommended one. So you need to download and install this, and then once that is downloaded, you can now either download the standalone or install via npm. So for the standalone, it's quite easy. Let's go on the standalone here. So on the standalone here, you just download this standalone, and then once you download it, you run it, it will open up the command prompt this is an ex file. If I open like this, it will start downloading here. Let's just wait for it. So you see now, if I save it, this is a Firebase 2 ex file. If you install it, it's going to open up the command prompt, and then you can do whatever we're going to do. The following commands, we can come and log in with this command, and then it will log in, and then we can do the rest. Okay, so let's remove this because I'm not going to download this. We are using the npm method, and then now if we come back to the npm, here we only need to run this npm install g Firebase tools. So this also is only after you've installed the Node.js. Okay, that's a requirement. So let's copy this command, and then now we can open up our shell or cmd or the terminal if you're on Mac. So let's go and search, and then I'm going to open my shell here. So I'm going to bring it up here and then paste that command there, and then let's run this. This is already installed in my system. I'm just redoing this. Alright, now that that is done, we can go ahead and minimize that. And then the next thing after we install this, this command is, we can read here, this command enables the global availability of Firebase commands. Now we can continue to log in and test. Okay, so we can head back to our Firebase and then run this Firebase login command. Okay, let's copy that, then open back the terminal, and then let's paste that. Okay, now it's going to attempt to log in. So you can see that in my case, it's telling me that I'm already logged in with my Google account, the account that I'm already logged in here on my Firebase. So in your case, as long as you're logged into the browser, it will be logged in, or it will ask you to log in, and then you have to provide your password for your Firebase account. Okay, so now that we are logged in, this part is done. Let's minimize that. Next, it says that we must install the Flutter SDK. So this part is already done because we know that we are running the Flutter project here. Okay, this is already done, and then the next step is create a Flutter project. This is also already done because we have a Flutter project running here. Okay, so let's minimize, and then the next step here, let's click on next. Then this one says from any directory run this command, this one. Okay, so let's copy and then go back to the terminal here, and then we can paste that here, and then run the command. So this command is also run. For me it's quicker because everything here is already installed. And then I'm going to minimize, and then here it says now, then at the root of your Flutter project directory run this command. So let's copy that, and then since it's at our root, so we can go ahead and open our application and open the terminal from there. So here in our terminal we can paste this. Now we can paste this and then run it. Alright, so now it's asking which platforms we want to configure. So we only want Android, iOS, and maybe web. Okay, so let's go down here and remove the macOS. We can go on macOS with the navigating with the arrow keys and pressing the space bar. Now macOS, we have removed it, and then let's go ahead and press on enter key. Okay, great. So now we can see that all three projects have been registered. We have a web app, we have an Android app, and then we also have an iOS app. All of them have been registered, and then we have the new file created here for Firebase option here. Okay, so let's minimize that, and then let's head back to the browser. Now if this is done, we can go ahead. Now it says that it will automatically register your pay platform apps with a Firebase, and adds a lib Firebase option, which is this file that we are seeing here. Okay, now here we can click next, and then we need to add this in our main.dat. So let's copy this code, then go back here, and then let's go back to the main.dat. Here after the widget flutter binding.ensure initialize, just below that let's paste that code. So it's giving us this error because we need to install packages. Okay, so let's go back to the browser, and then from here let's press continue to console. Okay, now we are back on the console. We can reload this page. You can see that now we have these three applications loaded. Okay, we have Android, iOS, and web. Okay, so now if we go back here, we need to install packages. Okay, so now let's go back to the browser and start getting those packages. So let's go to pub.dev. Let's start installing the packages. The first one will be Firebase Core. Let's search for that. Getting, go on installation. We copy that, open up our application, go into pub.file, and then down here after adaptive theme here, let's paste that. Let's go back, and then let's search for another one. We can get Firebase Auth. This one, installation. Let's copy that, go back here and just paste that. We can go back, and then let's search for Firebase storage, this one. Getting this one, installation, and then let's copy that. We go back to the application, then paste that. Let's go back to the browser, and then let's get now Firebase. Let's get Cloud Firestore, this one. Let's search for that. This one, installation, and then let's copy that, open up the application, and then let's paste that. I think that's it, and then now we can save this. So it's getting the packages. So it's finished exit code with 0, so the packages are done. We can close that. Then now here we can import this. Okay, then also import this. This is our Firebase Firebase core. Okay, which is this, and then we can minimize this, and then now we can bring up our application. But before we test it, we need to go for Android. We need to go inside Android here, and then up, and then build.gradle here. So let's get the minimum compile SDK. Let's change this to 33, and then the minimum SDK, let's put it to 21. Then the target SDK, let's put 33. And then down here, let's put mount text. Let's enable it to true. Okay, then we can go ahead and close that. Now we can go ahead and test our application. Okay, so let's run it. So the application is successfully running, which means we have successfully connected to Firebase. Just don't mind these errors. This is not a problem. Okay, so now everything is set. We can minimize that. We have successfully connected our application to Firebase. If you guys missed any of the steps here, or you can't understand something, you can just message me, then I can assist you. Okay, so great. Now this part is done. In the next video, we are going to start up with our authentication. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.